Hello, I'm Emma.
And I'm Ellie.
And together we are E Squared.
Welcome back to another episode of Campus Chronicles.
The show brought to you by students for students.
And what are we doing today, Emma?
Today we are doing a special episode about quizzes because, as you know, or I guess if you're listening to it this Friday when it comes out, then finals week just ended here at the college.
Yeah, and we know finals week can put a lot of stress on people. And, most of the time finals are quizzes, so we thought we'd bring back the quiz format and, have a little guessing game.
In case you didn't have enough tests to do this week, we thought we'd give you one more.
Yeah. Thought you got off the hook? Nope.
Nope, you can't get off that easily.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. But as you guys know, finals week can be a super stressful week. It can be a little bit intimidating to go into. It can be it's a little weight to get off of your shoulders once it's over, but also it could be more weight knowing maybe you did a little bad, maybe you didn't pass a class when you wanted to, maybe just things didn't go exactly how you planned them this semester. And we're here with a few tips and tricks to remind you that it happens to everyone, and we just hope that maybe these little tidbits can help you get through this time easier.
Yeah, especially with the holidays being stressful. I mean, leading up to that, with, maybe not such a good ending for your year, can sort of weigh on you, I feel. And so, we just wanted to compile a few tips and tricks just to remind you that it's okay and help you feel better about stuff, maybe.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And especially with, as Ellie said, the end of the year is coming up, the end of the school year is coming up, or not the school year, but the end of the semester. It's just important to go into it, especially into winter break. That's a long break and a lot of time to self-reflect, I guess. It's important to go into it knowing some of these things so maybe you can feel more refreshed when you come back in the spring.
Yeah. And so with that, you want to read us our first question?
Yes. So our first question that we have in our quiz episode is, when you fail at something, you should A, fail at something harder so it balances out, B, don't beat yourself up, or C, brand yourself as a lifelong failure and never try at anything ever again.
I'm partial to A and C, but I think B is probably the right one.
Yes, you are right. It is B. Even though sometimes A and C can feel a little tempting, maybe. But what's important to remember is that everyone fails at something at some point or another. And if someone says they haven't failed at anything, then they're lying.
Yeah.
That's what I think about that. And you shouldn't take it too hard. You should use that as a learning opportunity, because one of my favorite quotes that I had written down in the notes for this is, it's from a song and it says, everything you lose is a step you take. And I think that's a really good, important quote to look on, and it kind of helps me center myself when I'm feeling bummed out about maybe things not going out as I planned them, because it just helps me realize, maybe this didn't happen because this other thing was supposed to happen. Yeah,
I mean, things don't always work out, but just keep in mind, failure does not automatically mean the end. End of the battle, not end of the war type deal. So, yeah.
Okay, so our next question is that Ellie is going to read.
Okay, next question. In future semesters, you should look back at this one and A, only focus on what went wrong. B, only focus on what went right. C, focus on both so you know what to do and what not to do for this upcoming semester.
I say C, that you should focus on both.
That's correct. And the note here says, congratulate yourself for hard work and maybe something you did this semester that worked, or maybe it didn't. Use it as tools to help you to go into the next semester in the spring. So, yeah.
Yeah, and what I mean by that is just maybe something went really right or really wrong this semester, and it doesn't really help to focus solely on one of those things, because the wider picture of the semester that will help you in the next upcoming semester is knowing every single part of it, so that you know what to do for next semester, you know what not to do for next semester, because maybe something you did this semester really worked, and that's okay, but maybe something you did this semester really did not work, and that's also important to know so you don't do it again next semester.
You always got to take the good with the bad and, reflect on that after the fact, so, yeah.
And we really want to drive home that you shouldn't just focus only on the bad, because that, in my opinion, that doesn't do anyone any good.
Yeah, same thing with the good, though. I mean, just focusing on the good and ignoring all the bad, that's not good either. You should focus on both so, you get a nice, healthy appreciation of both sides. So, yeah.
Focus on the big picture.
Yeah.
Okay, so our next question says, true or false, progress is linear?
False.
Oh my gosh, you got it right. Yes, that is correct. Progress is not linear.
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect, and no matter what happens, you're gonna face some bumps in the road. And all that matters when something like that happens is how you proceed onwards from it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, like, I know in my life I've failed and then gotten better at something, and I've failed and gotten better at something over and over again until, like, I was okay at something. Yeah, it's not always a straight shot. You just have to tough it out sometimes and get back on that horse. And,
Yeah.
You know, just, yeah.
And although it would be nice in a perfect world, I'm sure progress would be linear and it would be a perfectly straight line to where you want to be. But that is not how life works. And like I said, or like I kind of hinted at earlier, failure is part of what makes us human. So you just have to go with the flow of things. And when you go on a super high and then a super low, like a roller coaster that life is, you just have to go along with the ride and adapt as you go.
Yeah. Success is never a straight shot. Always ups and downs. So, yeah. And for our next question, we have, if you're frustrated, what should you do? A, take it out on your loved ones. B, find a healthy way to let out your frustration, sorry. Or C, keep it all bottled up.
I think it's A.
Yeah.
Just kidding. No, I think it's B.
Yeah. Okay, so the note here says, punch or scream into your pillow, listen to angry music, go for a walk. It's okay to have a bad day. Just, better than bottling it up or taking out on people you like. So, yeah.
Yeah. And I know it can be hard sometimes when you're having a bad day. It's kind of like an instinct sometimes to maybe take it out on those around you, take it out on the first person you see on the street, take it out with road rage when you're driving home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just important to find other ways as you go throughout your life. And especially during the break, maybe you'll have a lot of time to try new things and find what works. But just try to find better ways to take out your anger than slamming your horn at someone or sass talking your mom. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For me, it's mental breakdowns in my car, but,
Well, yeah,
whatever
but
works.
like I said, we're trying to veer away from that.
Yeah, whatever. Anyways, yeah, just find a good, healthy way to maybe let out some of those frustrations, and, yeah.
Yeah. And our next question says, if you're struggling, you should A, talk to someone you trust about how you're feeling, B, ignore it and play Minecraft instead, or C, tell yourself you're being a wimp and buck up.
I really like B, but I think I'm going to go with A.
I really like B too because playing Minecraft is so much fun. But you're right, it is A. Some people that maybe you trust in your life can be a parent, it could be a sibling, it can be a coworker, it can be maybe a teacher that you have. It could be just find someone in your life that you feel like you can talk to about the problems you're having. Because in my opinion, it's much better to get out the way you're feeling, especially if it's just, or even if it's just through ranting to your friends about it, than to keep it bottled up inside and then it all explodes out of you at once. You know what I mean?
It's nice to have a good, healthy, support network, so that way if you ever need help, you can fall back on it. And
yeah. And no one has to do this alone. I think that's something that's important to mention. Like, if you're feeling alone, I'm sure there's someone out there who will be willing to talk to you.
Yeah, and as you guys know, we had Dr. Marcus on the show maybe a month or two ago.
Yeah.
Just to talk about, mental health issues we have around campus and how to deal with those. So, yeah, if you're ever feeling down and you have no one else to talk to, just remember San Juan College always provides, extensive telehealth and, in-person appointments for mental health and other issues. So, yeah.
And even if you don't want to maybe take that scary step towards talking to a professional like that, you can literally find a teacher that you trust. You can find a coworker that you trust. You can find a priest if you go to church or something like that. So we're just saying having a strong support system in your life really helps.
Yeah. And for our next question we have, finish the phrase, comparison is the thief of A, candy, B, sleep, or C, joy.
Is it candy?
Maybe.
No, I'm just kidding. It's joy.
Yeah.
I really like that phrase, comparison is the thief of joy, because that just reminds you to stay focused on what really matters. And just because someone in one of your classes is bragging all the time about how they have 100% and they get extra credit on every assignment because it's just the most perfect work the professor has ever seen, It doesn't
Yeah.
mean that you have to be exactly like that person, because at the end of the day, your life is your own life, and the only person you should be focused on when it comes to your schoolwork and things like that is yourself.
Yeah. A little bit of a personal tangent here, speaking from experience. I know when I first started the film class I had this year, shout out to you guys if you're listening.
Oh my gosh, hi guys.
I know, right? I remember being like so blown out of the water by everyone else's capabilities, because we had all these people like amazing at cameras or audio or like writing or editing. It was just like a crazy experience, and just trying to compare myself and my abilities to everyone else was an experience, because you just can't automatically have that. So yeah, maybe don't compare yourself, but also if you are going to compare yourself, push yourself to either be equals or better. Like don't make it like
or
that.
maybe if you're going to compare yourself to you in the past, and then you can see, oh my gosh, I'm so much better than that guy. You know what I mean?
So well, yeah, what I'm trying to say is, like, take inspiration from the people around you. Like, you know, draw.
That's not a
off
bad.
of
It's not a bad thing to draw inspiration from those around you. You should just take things at your own pace and try not to compare yourself to people as much.
Yeah, because you'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I also thought it was funny that I put sleep as one of the answers for this, because it is also kind of true that if you compare yourself to people a lot, you do lose a little bit of sleep from it. So
Yeah.
I think that kind of correlates to a point that, everyone does it. It's kind of a natural human thing. You should just try to steer away from it.
Yeah, and speaking of sleep, thank God for winter break here.
Yes, I'm so excited about that. That's kind of the best part about break, is that you get so much time to sleep
Oh, I
in.
love sleeping.
It's going to be hard to come back in January, but we will be looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Okay, so our next question is, finish the phrase, sometimes all you can do is blank. A, try your best. B, accept that it's not going to work out ever again. Or C, cry yourself to sleep.
Was it A?
Yes, you got it.
Wow.
It is. You should always just try your best, because sometimes that's the best you can do. You know what I mean? Sometimes you'll be having a bad day, and if you make it to the end of that day and think to yourself, at least I tried my best, sometimes that's all that matters.
Yeah, and sometimes, even if your best doesn't work out, that's not you. A good quote I like is, sometimes you can do nothing wrong and still fail. And, it hits hard when you think that, you've tried your best at something and it still doesn't work out. Just remind yourself that you did good, and maybe the circumstances weren't great, but, you tried.
Yeah.
So at least you have that.
And like I said, sometimes, you can be proud of yourself just because you tried.
Yeah.
Because literally sometimes, like Ellie just said, sometimes you can do the very, very best you can and still fail. So you should still be proud of yourself for trying at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And also another thing I wrote along with this, because my answer the B option was accept that it's not going to work out ever again. I wrote down kind of a side note, and I know it's a little silly, but it's from Star Wars, and it says only a Sith deals in absolutes. And I just thought it was funny to remember, that kind of helps me think in my head, you can't just think because you failed at one thing that you're going to fail at everything ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that.
You don't have to take it to the extreme. Sometimes you fail, and that's a part of life, and you just have to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep going. And realize that one failure does not define who you are. It actually, in my opinion, it helps contribute to your wider sense of self, because
who you become.
Yeah, because you never learn anything if you never mess up.
Yeah. Another little Ellie side tangent here. Good piece of advice. Another good piece of advice. Some days just won't work out.
Yeah.
You have a bad day, and there's no way of fixing it. So, just sleep on it, wake up, and try again. So.
And that is the good thing about life. There's always another day tomorrow. So, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, for our next question, we have... Okay. Question 8. True or false? When something is going wrong and you don't feel equipped to handle it, sometimes the best course of action is to count your losses, come back to it later with new mindset and tools to deal with it.
I think that's true.
It is true. So the note here says, Exactly what I just said. Sometimes time is the remedy, and taking a step back does the most good. So
Yeah.
when you look at something differently, you might be able to figure out how to do it easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And literally that's all it requires sometimes. Maybe just taking a step back and looking at it from a different angle, and maybe you'll think, oh, like, I could have done that. Or, oh, like, actually, I think I'll do this instead, and that'll work out better. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sometimes when I find myself in like a really bad down spiral of trying to figure out how to do
Yeah.
something, like freaking out on a final or maybe just a project in general that I don't have enough time to do. I find it's good to just take a moment, calm down, like
Especially
breathe.
calm down.
Yeah, just like remove yourself from the situation, or if you can't, at least try to ground yourself.
Yeah.
And maybe something comes to you.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
in like situations like that, I'm always reminded of when I did theater in high school, because my director would always say, like, if you didn't get cast as the role that you wanted, she gave you like a 2-day grace period, and then you could come talk to her about it. Because sometimes we let our emotions get the better of us. Sometimes we get angry at ourselves for not doing the best. Sometimes we get angry at the other people for doing better than us. You know what I mean? So sometimes the best course of action is literally to just take a deep breath, calm yourself down, and try again later.
Yeah.
And I also wrote a little side tangent on this one because I thought it was funny. A little quote from, some of you might know it from TikTok, but it says, but they say when you change your perspective, that's when miracles happen. Like, I just thought it was funny. Like, I was thinking of those funny TikToks that have that audio, because it really is true. Sometimes, like, you don't realize that something's going to be good until it goes wrong, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so our next question is, true or false? When something goes wrong, you don't deserve to celebrate what went right.
False.
Yes, you're right.
I know, right?
Even if everything doesn't go according to plan, even if only some things go the way you wanted them to, you should still be proud of yourself for the things that did go right. Because even if they're little things, they're still important, because in my opinion, I do this a lot. Like, it can be easy to lose sight of what went right if a lot of things went wrong.
Yeah.
And it's really important to sometimes focus on what did go right. I know we said earlier, don't focus on one or the other, but like, especially don't just get lost in your feelings and be like, oh man, this day sucked, but maybe you did have a good moment here or there, and it's important to celebrate those too.
Yeah, I mean, like, in a sea of bad things happening, especially like, just in your day or in the world or, whatever circumstance you're dealing with at the moment, it's always good to, focus on those little pools of positivity that you have. So,
yeah. And maybe, like, you did really bad on your final and you were like, oh my gosh, I could have done much better than that. But maybe you kept getting an answer wrong on the study guide and then you got it right on the test. And even if you didn't do that good on the test, you still got that one thing you were struggling with right. And why shouldn't you celebrate that?
Yeah, or maybe, like, you completely friggin' failed the final, but you have a nice group of friends that, you could joke around about.
Yeah,
with.
then you can go, like, cheer yourself up by going to Chili's with your friends.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, flashback to last night.
That's what we did last night, and it was kind of fun. And just little moments like that, going back to our earlier point about having a good support system, sometimes that's all you need is just a good night out with your friends, and then you realize that sometimes life is a lot wider than just college, and yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so our last question.
Okay, for our last question, we have, with the break coming up, you should enjoy your time off and prepare for next semester too.
I think that's true.
It is true. Okay, it says, spend time with friends and family, take some time to reflect, relax, and recharge, and prepare mentally for next year, so you can come back stronger than ever. Take a break, you deserve it.
Yes, and I really do mean that when I wrote that down. You deserve a break, even if you didn't do as good in your classes as you thought you would, like, you still deserve to just take a step back, just chill out for a bit. Like, it's called a break for a reason, so use it as such, and go see those people that are in town that you haven't seen in a bit, and stay up a few nights really late, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's just, you deserve it.
Yeah, relax, recuperate, take some time to plan and prepare for next time, and yeah, just have a really nice break.
Yeah, and with that, I think this brings our episode today to a close.
Yeah, so thank you all again for tuning into another episode of Campus Chronicles, and once again, I hope you all have a lovely break.
Yes, we hope you have a very refreshing break. We hope that when you come back in the semester that you'll be listening again
Yeah.
because we're excited to take a break for a little bit. And we just hope that you have a happy holidays and you have a good new year, and we will see you all in 2026.
Yeah, bye everyone. See ya.
Bye, guys.